Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings of the scriptures and to enjoy daily satsang with us. We are currently exploring the book Yoga of Perfection, summary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So currently we are on chapter number 6 and we'll be studying shloka number 41. We'll be beginning from shloka number 41 and moving onwards. So chapter 6, shloka number 41, God says, Prapya punya kritam lokanushitva shashvatihi samaha शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते. Meaning, having enjoyed celestial delights for a long time, a yogi who fell from yoga in the past birth is born in the family of the pure and wealthy. So, indeed, a very profound shloka. It gives us assurance that if we are on this path, this is a journey and we don't lose what we have acquired already. So, therefore, if we die before we achieve self realization, then again we will continue from where we left off and we will be born in pure, conducive, wealthy families where we don't have to struggle for a daily living so much. So that we can continue our journey since we already practice this process. Moving on to the last shloka of this chapter, shloka number 42, God says, अथवा योगिनामेव कुलेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्. This shloka says, or he may be born in a family of yogis, but this type of birth is difficult to attain by the people of this world. Therefore, he remembers his past knowledge and strives to attain perfection. So, what God is saying is, those people who have intensely done a lot of practice, they are born in the family of yogis itself. So they are born in the household of saints where they can get self realized in that coming life, that life that they have been given. But that is indeed rare because very few people put in the kind of effort that is needed to attain self realization. But even those, like we studied in shloka number 41, people who have started the process will also be born in a very comfortable environment so that their journey can be aided further. But in this shloka, he says they will be born in the family of the yogis where already there is a lot of spirituality, satsanga, and that conducive environment for the yogis' faster evolution. So, thus, we have concluded the summarization of chapter number 6. Moving on to chapter number 7, it's called Jnana Vigyan Yoga, Yoga of Knowledge and Realization. So here God is saying we'll be picking up two shlokas from this chapter, shloka number 14 and then 16. Shloka number 14, God says, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ya Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. My Maya is difficult to cross, but those who surrender unto me cross this divine illusion. Meaning that Maya means this illusion of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, the three gunas. It seems very real, but it is all a cosmic illusion. Therefore, it is difficult to cross. So, we cannot achieve God by logic, by arguments, by simply our effort alone. So, what is required is Sharanagati, the word meaning surrender. Surrender to God unconditionally, and then you can cross this divine illusion through His grace. Shloka number 16, God says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukriti no Arjuna arto jigyasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshabha. God says, four types of virtuous men worship me. Men meaning human mankind, man and woman. Those who are in distress, in pain, those who are aspirants in the path of wisdom, those who are desirous of prosperity, and those who have attained wisdom. Among them, Jnani or the wise devotee is the best, because I am dear to the wise and wise is dear to me. So, very deeply, the shloka has been summarized, where God is saying, and that's very true. The same devotee, when he is in pain, is asking for God to take care of his pain. When he wants resources, he's praying for resources. Otherwise, there are some who are just curious. They want to know about how this world came into being. They are jigyasus, students, aspirants. They are in the process of learning. And finally, the ones who have attained self realization, these who are saints and sages, who have attained, who have demystified this Maya. So, that is, out of these four, God is saying, obviously I am very um, to me, the jnanis, the self-realized sages and saints who have done this difficult task, are my very own essence. They have achieved me, therefore they are dear to me. That doesn't mean others are not dear to God. Everybody is dear to God, but God is creating an ideal before us, an aspiration to follow, not just to remember God in pain or in trouble, but to think of Him all the time. That is the essence of this shloka. So let's move on to chapter 8, and there we will pick up shloka number 6, where God says, यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं त्यज्यन्ते कलेवरं तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः. Chapter 8 is also known as Yoga of Imperishable Brahman. He says, O Arjuna, whatever a person remembers at the time of death, he attains that because of his constant thought of that object. So, this is a very important shloka, meaning that when our body is vulnerable, we are about to depart. At that time, the most prevalent thought that we have always done in this world will come to the forefront. So, therefore, it's important to think of God and His divine glories or His name, so that at that time we can think of that thought. Otherwise, if we have other vices and other problems, those thoughts will also, of attachment, for example our kids, then those thoughts will also come to our surface, and that is not the time to get entangled. It is the time to move on in our journey. So therefore we should have thoughts of God only at that time. That is the meaning of this shloka. So therefore the last thought matters, and in order to get to that last thought of purity, we need to have a pure life. So shloka number 7, तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मर युध्य च मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्मामे वैश्यस्य संशयम्. Here God says, therefore remember me constantly at all times and fight or perform your duty. Having offered thy mind and intellect unto me, thou shalt surely come to me. So, what a reassuring shloka. So, God is saying, you can certainly come to me by thinking of me at all times. So, therefore, the last thought also will automatically be one of me only. And offer your duties like you are worshipping God. Give them to God, and then offer your mind and intellect to God also. After all, He's the one who's doing all these things anyway. He's the one who controls our life, our last breath, and so on. So he says, if you are sincere, you will surely come to me. That is the essence of this shloka. And we conclude our satsang here for today. I will see you tomorrow. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.